Well, hello there. I'm Denise Morrison. I am a transformational coach for powerful women who aspire to live to their full potential. And I specialize in one-on-one holistic coaching experiences. And I'm showing up today to remind you that you can create the life that you want, and it all starts from the inside. So, how many of you have ever had a conversation with someone and you have felt overwhelmed, anxious, frustrated, sad, mad, annoyed, and wanted to do whatever you could to escape that conversation? Hands up right here. As a physical therapist, health and life coach, and an empath, and a former people pleaser, I know exactly how it feels to have been in a conversation and to just lose yourself entirely, where I walked away and I was so frustrated and annoyed that I started craving sweets. So if you can relate to that, give me some loves and some likes or some frowny faces, because many of us have been having conversations that were really difficult over the past year or so. And I wanted to offer you a tool that I use in my coaching sessions to help you feel intact and happy and maintain your energy after you leave that conversation with that person. So I must preface this little sharing tonight by saying that if you have been in conversations with this person for a long time and you are that person that comes in and they expect you to jump in with advice or jump in and counteract, and you know that little push pull, that little aggravation that you get with that person that almost feels like a struggle, that ickiness where you know inside of you that you want to fix them or do something and solve their problem or make their problems all go away. That's what I'm talking about. And it's that icky place where this tool will help you to back off, kind of stay in your lane and stay complete and aware of your own self, so that you can leave the conversation feeling a whole piece again. And I'm saying this because so many years working in the medical field, training clients, training patients, working with people, friends and family, I was that person that thought I had to fix them, thought I had to help them, thought I had to please them, get their approval, and save them from themselves. Why was I thinking I could do all that? I do not know, because usually it got me into trouble. It got me hang-ups and awful conversations and a lot of frustration and teeth grinding, because really I was stepping out of my place. But because of my history and what I learned, I felt that that was my role. Not any longer, thank goodness, because I can now have a conversation with a friend, a family member, especially with a client, where I can maintain my calm, my energy, and my peace and stay myself in that conversation. And I do not feel that I have to rush in and fix them, save them, or make all their problems go away. And most times, as I've reflected back on my many years in my being, it would just annoy me. I would get frustrated with this person and I would wonder why they weren't doing what I was telling them to do, by usually giving them advice that was mistimed or inappropriate, that wasn't even resonating with them. So let me save you some angst, trouble, cravings, weight gain, stress by teaching you this beautiful tool, which is so very simple if you practice it and make it your own and savor it. So, like I said, depending on the person that you're thinking of when I'm talking to you today, if you have trained them to be in a conversation with you where they expect you to jump in and respond, they might find that you're a bit odd or something's wrong with them, or they might judge you or speak out towards you because your relationship has been such that you've taught them that that's what you do. You jump in and you're there to save them and fix them. And in a sense, that's actually hurting you and hurting them so that they're not actually finding their own way, finding their way to grow, listening to their own insights. And you may have deprived them of that chance to listen deeply within to what's important to them, to get that experience from actually listening and speaking. So there's a many depths to this conversation. Hey, Dana, what's up? So good to see you. So there's very many depths to this conversation. So I'll just aim to make this short and sweet for now. But if you'd like to learn more, you can always get in touch with me. So if you would love to change the situation when you're interacting with people and you know you need firmer boundaries and you want to maintain your energy, your peace, your happiness, your sanity, try this simple technique. So I'm going to use my example for now, and I really have perfected the art of putting myself in a big bubble of bubble wrap. You know, that bubble wrap that you get from Amazon when you get packages. I'm liking it to this bubble that I went into called the Zorb when I was in New Zealand, and I went in this big bubble Zorb ball thing, and I was bouncing down the hill, all very funny. But I picture myself in this protected, cozy, safe bubble. And I check in with myself and I listen to my heart beating. I listen to my breathing and get in touch with my breathing. I soften my belly and I really tune into my energy and check in. And I hold myself back, really, because you know how it feels when you're talking to someone, even on the phone or on Zooms. We kind of want to get in there. So I hold myself back and I stay within my peaceful energy. And usually, as the person is speaking, I think to myself, I am here to help. I love and support you. I am holding space for you. I accept you for where you are and who you are. And I just smile and I listen and I nod. I'm not ignoring them. I'm listening. I'm hearing the words I'm hearing. But remember, I have my safe bubble. So the words are kind of coming at me, but they're not penetrating my bubble. I'm not soaking in or taking on what they're saying or their emotions. So I'm staying present to myself, which allows me to protect myself and hold my boundaries, which is also allowing me to have them be in their space to do what they need to do by speaking to me. So, as I said, there's many layers to this, but what's happening here is that the person that has chosen you to speak to, what they're doing is typically they're venting, they're getting off the stuff from their chest, from their mind. It's like a lot of mind chatter, a lot of to-dos, a lot of stories, a lot of all that noise that's going on in their heads, possibly negative emotions or feelings, and they really just need to get it out. Release it from their mind, get it out of their mouth, let the tears flow, the laughter, the aches, the pains, and to just empty it all out. And once they can release all of that, they can calm down, they can find their center again, maybe after some tears and sobs, some heavy breathing, some laughter, some jolty, chickly things that you see, and they just settle. And you've just smiled and you held that wonderful space of love and acceptance, no judgment, and you've just been a peaceful witness to their process. And by then, you've allowed them to come to the point where they've gotten really still and they can say, wow, thanks for that. And they can start to hear the insights, the intuition, the internal wisdom, whatever, the connection with their higher power that says to them, for me and myself in my life right now, that's what I need to be doing. That's important to me. And you see that smile on their face, you see the light bulb moment go off, and you say, I'm so happy for you. That's fantastic. I'm glad I was here to witness that for you. I love you. I support you. And your friend, that person, whoever, leaves the conversation feeling a new experience, a new way of being about themselves, because you allowed them to safely check in a way that was loving, non-judgmental. There was no advice giving inappropriately, and they were able to just be heard and supported. And you get to witness that beautiful transformation within that person as they've discovered what's important to them after they've dumped out all the junk, all the other words, the gossip, the judgment, blah, 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 that we get in our brains every day. And they were able to connect deeply with themselves in a safe, loving environment that you provided for them. So I'm saying this, one more layer here is that if you have had relationships with people where they have relied on you to jump in and fix them, to banter with them, to struggle with them, to fight with them, to be that fuel for fodder to fight with them even more, you may need to check in with yourself and say, is that relationship healthy? Is that relationship toxic? Is it a drain in my life? Is it affecting me so deeply that I do lose myself when I'm around that person? And is that's for you to reflect in yourself to say, honestly, that's probably not a really happy, healthy, safe relationship. And those empaths out there, like myself, the caregivers, the people pleasers, those of you who have sought out approval from other people, it may be difficult at first to do this, but trust me, if you can collect that energy and keep it to yourself, check in with your heart beating, your breathing, your body, and say, you know what? I can hold my energy in this space and not get involved. I can let them be themselves and go through this process, whether they cry, whether they stumble, but that could be on them. So I invite you to explore some of the things that I've said, and whatever resonates you, I'd love to hear about it. I'll look at the comments afterwards and respond back to you. But if you can find and create some little comfortable, safe, happy bubble within you, and you don't have to tell anybody you're doing this, especially if it's with a stranger, but you may need to tell that person that you've been interacting with that you're trying something new on. You're doing something to help yourself, your sanity, your mental health, your well-being, and your energy so that you can stay surviving and thriving through this situation that may be chaotic or stressful at the moment in their life. So I love to hear comments. I love to hear back from you. Feel free to leave them below. Leave some emojis. I love to see how you feel in messaging. I'm here for you to help. And if you find that this has been powerful, message me at Denise Lynn Morrison, or find me over at my website and contact me, DeniseLynnMorrison.com, because anything that I can do to offset some of the strains and the frustrations that you may be feeling in this time of your life, I'm happy to help offer those tools to you. So have a wonderful evening. Thank you for allowing me to help you create the life that you want. And remember that it truly comes from inside. Love to you all. Take care. Bye.